Hi there, welcome back again to another video about the Sharp G6060. So this is part two. I basically cleaned all around this area in the last video, and what I believed that this wheel had some rubber around it which had perished, but I don't think that is the actual problem. So basically I did go as far as replacing the rubber on here, and I did that by finding a grommet which is used in cabling, and I basically cut this in half and then put one side onto the wheel. So I did give it a go, and it still didn't work. So I had a look online, and it seems that it's a very common cause. What it is there's expected to be a rubber in here on this actual spindle. So it's basically a 5mm with a 2mm inner, and I think it's 5mm across as well, so it's quite small, but that's what it's missing, and that's what had deteriorated there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this deck now, and I'm going to have a go at getting to this part here. So I will have to take the clip off this wheel again, and I will put the original rubber back on that, and so that'll be my first thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off this cover so I can get to the screws, because I believe we just slide this out and then get to these screws underneath as well. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I take the panel off there for the tuner, and there's 4 screws, so I've already made these loose, and I can see some connectors here to the board, to PCB, and I think hopefully there's only these sort of 3 connectors. So you can see the motor here, and then we've got this one here which, yeah, it probably goes to the head, but let's just unplug that one and unplug that one. Okay, let's get these screws out. Excuse my hands, they've got a little bit of silicone on. I've been updating the bathroom, so that stuff is terrible, and I'm always not very good at remembering to put gloves on when I start something. So once I start something, I tend to just get on with it. So okay, yep, look at that. One more connection there I didn't see, so there's a black wire there. Maybe that's like a earth or something, I'm not sure. Does that pop off without me breaking it? I'm wiggling it and it doesn't want to come off. Okay, let's just hold it to one side. Okay, so it has got some bouts, and this one here is looking not so good. So I'll try to replace this one. Might get away with the thicker bout, although I have got some thicker bouts, so I could have a look at that. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is let's check this rubber here. Yeah, okay, I'm going to try to get to where that spindle is. It's really nice that these decks are designed the way that they are, and you can remove the whole assembly like this. It makes it a lot more straightforward. So the thing I always do with my phone is always take pictures so I can get things back together again and not be too stumped. So first thing to do, I'll remove these 2 screws. We've got this flywheel here, and I think that's driving the spindle on the other side. So with that removed, it looks like I can now take this out, or at least attempt to. Let's just release that band. And there we go. So there's the culprit. Really messy still, even though I did give it a good clean. So what I'm going to do now is I shall give this a clean, and I shall get the tubing that I'm going to cut to size to put down here. I notice there's a little washer there as well. That better stay there. Okay. The silicone tubing I've got was sourced on eBay, and it was from a boat supplier, so I'm hoping that it's of the right consistency, that it will still do the job. So it's the right size, so it's 5mm across and just 2mm internal. So I'm going to square off, and I'm going to cut about 5mm, so 1/2 centimetre of tube, and then I'm going to attempt to put it onto the spindle. So what I'm finding is I've pushed this flywheel with the spindle back up, and the spindle is getting dirty again, so I do need to get right in here first to give it a good clean. The other thing I noticed is that there's 2 pairs of washers. So the washers you can see there was a big one and a small one. So there seems to be 2 washers either side of the rubber, or the silicone that I'm going to put on here. So so I'm going to slide this out. I'm going to give this another clean, and hopefully be able to get the washers on in the right way. So there's 2 sets of washers on either side, and it does seem to me that the small washer needs to be on the top side, I believe. So to clear out as much as I can of this gunk, I'm going to use some ear prods. As you can see, pretty nasty in there. So it literally deteriorated within this housing, and it's left it really in quite a nasty way. So I might have to have a few more than 3 to clean this. I guess you could say that this Sharp cassette recorder has got very dirty ears. You can see how many I've used. I've used 6 and counting, and still really mucky in there. And that's without adding any alcohol yet. Look at that. So looks like I shall have to carry on for a bit longer, just cleaning inside of here as much as I can. It really has deteriorated. Oh, that might be getting a bit cleaner. Oh, some of the strands are coming off there, so don't want them to be caught in there. And this stuff, yeah, it's just terrible when it gets into, well, on your hands or into anything. It really is impossible to clean. But this is starting to look a bit better, I think. So even though it's starting to get a bit cleaner, every time I move this flywheel, put the shaft back into here, look how dirty this gets. So it's a case of maybe using this to help me finish off the last bit of cleaning, because I don't think there's much else I can do to get that gunk off. But it's, yeah, it's incredible. It just coats it again black with gunk, and just have to carry on like this, I think. So this whole process has taken quite a long time, and I decided to cut the end off a cotton bud and start to do it this way instead. So basically this is just made of sort of paper, sort of cardboardy, and you can see it's still taking a hell of a lot of gunk off of there. So just cut an end off and then push it down and through. So the whole idea is to get rid of the resistance that's currently in there as well. And that's not looking too bad. So yeah, it wouldn't be a very good job if I just left it dirty there, because it may have detrimental effects then on the playback if it was sluggish, or if it was causing drag, all this sort of tar. So it really does pay to get that sort of as clean as you can. Well, I'm not going to film the next part, but I've just put the little bit of tubing onto here just to make sure it fits nice and snug, and it does, so hopefully that will be something I can do. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm not going to film it, is I'm going to use tweezers to locate this into here, plus also add the washers. So the washers will have to go in, maybe there's one either side actually, that's probably what it is. Maybe a small washer on the top, and then this next size down next to this here, and then obviously the one here underneath it. So yeah, that's probably how the washers will go. So I've just gone through my collection of small belts, and I've been able to replace the small one here because this is the original one, and you can see visible cracking, and yeah, there's no elastic in that anymore. So yeah, that's one for the bin. So I've replaced this one. This one I'm just going to leave for now. It's a little bit slack, but I mean, I have got some of these thicker belts, but I think for now I'll just try to get away with that one. So I've reassembled everything, and one last thing is, I don't know if you remember from the part 1 video, this here is missing some sort of retainer, so that stays sprung. So I'm going to have to fashion something in here. Now I did find some bits of white plastic floating about, and you can actually see where something's obviously come off here. So maybe it was like a little post, and this would have clipped behind it. So I'll probably get a well, I don't know what I'm going to get actually, but I'll have a dig around and see what I can find that will basically hold that tension. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it back in here, and then I'm going to give it a go. Apologies for my orange carpet in the other room. We inherited the carpet when we bought this house, and it's in the office, so I tend not to sort of think much about it, but I am going to get to a stage where it will be replaced, so no more 1970s orange carpet for us. So anyway, this is the machine reassembled. I'm going to give this a first go. I've put a I've put a fastener in here to hold the spring, so it may pop back out again. I don't know if that's going to make much difference or not. So I'm just going to try the play button now. Hey, what do we see here? So we see it moving around. It's sort of jumping a little bit, but that's really positive to see that movement. So this wasn't obviously working before. So one's rewind and one's, can't see what the buttons are. Okay, let's get that tape that came with the machine, and it had on here some Mallorca 99, so maybe it's someone's dance mix. So let's just see if we can get this to play. It's looking like it's doing something, and I do not know how loud this is going to be. Actually, it may already be playing. Let's find out. Not yet. Let's stop again. And let's just move this up really slowly. So yeah, the volume, it's on tape. The volume I'm going to put maybe halfway. Well, not halfway, I'll just move it up a little bit. And there may not be anything on this side of the tape. So let's play again. Oh, there is something on the tape.
Passing by. Now the ladies of the harem of the court of King Caractacus were just passing by. Now the noses on the faces of the ladies.
That sounded like Jim Dow, didn't it? Perhaps someone can let me know in the comments. Well, that looks like it's a success. It's obviously a project that's still in progress, so I will have to revisit this machine. I want to tidy up the look of the machine, and I will endeavour to replace the remaining bouts. There's 2 more bouts that could do with replacing now, but I think that that's a reasonable conclusion to the video, and I hope you enjoyed it and find that it was interesting, or maybe not interesting, but it was dirty business, wasn't it? The other thing I'll show you now is I use these tweezers. So these are sort of sprung loaded tweezers, and these really help me to position the washers back onto the spindle, so they're worth getting hold of it if you can, something like that. So thank you again for watching, and please subscribe, and I'll try to do some more videos again in the future. Bye for now. This is just a quick end part just to show you the deck reassembled with the front cover.